All right, welcome Sketchbook Heroes. We'll be drawing a car tonight. We'll be drawing some cars. We're going to start off with this car. Let me share it. So if you want to see it, oh, there it is. That's the car we're going to be drawing tonight. And then we're going to be drawing this other car, the Volkswagen. And you'll see the difference between the two. And it, you know, when you're first learning to draw, it doesn't, you don't have to be, you know, unless you want to draw, say, hey, this is a Volkswagen, then that's when you really want to be specific. So we're going to do something very general, and then we're going to go very specific with this one. So hold on to your hats, and here we go. Ready? Okay, there we go. Let's see. All right. So first thing you want to look for is our blank sheet of paper. Now, we use wrap to draw. And there's two wheels, and the wheels are circles. So the thing is, how far apart are the circles? So if I have you draw a circle, everybody would pretty much get that circle. Let's turn it right side up. There we go. There we go. And that's the sketch of that circle. I just sketched it in. And now the spacing between that circle and the next circle, and that's actually placement. So you can draw a circle, should have the same height, same width, and the placement. So I didn't really break it down. I usually break down my drawings before we start. All right, so let's break it down. Let's take a look again. Where did our drawing go now? There we go. I lost it. I'm a little off today. Huh. I got all my tabs there. I just lost it. Where'd it go? This is weird. These usually pop up. All right, well, let's get to it again. Let's go to Meetup. Oh, no, I know what I can do. Let's do this. There we go. There it is. All right, so here's our car. Now let's break this apart. So we're gonna look at this, and we're gonna use our tools here, and we're going to see where the distance is. So you see this is what we know. We usually break this down. I didn't get to do this tonight. I'm a little off. So this is what we know. There's a circle. We know this is a circle. We know there's another circle. And this is actually a drawing. It's not really a sketch. And if we look, there's a circle space in between. So that's going to help us with our placement, because you don't know, a lot of times don't know how far apart these things are. And then, of course, the size of the big circle. There we go. That one is right there. And if you see the middle's up there. So it actually straightens out a little bit, and then it attaches this other part. So there's that circle. And then, of course, this is just a little smaller. The windows are another circle with just cut out. And then take a look at this one. This is an even smaller circle for this. Oops, this part of this car. There we go. There it is. And you can see it there. Now that should help. So now we know there's a one wheel space in between. So here we go. So now that we know that, here's our circle, and we know that we're going to use wheel space to set our space in between. And this is good because this is the way eyes also work. Now, to get the same height, you can use a guideline from the top of that circle to the top of the next, it's going to be in here somewhere. And then the bottom, we're going to just another guideline, bring it over. And see, in the books don't talk about this. They just show you a beginning drawing and then the finished drawing. And that's what the next one's going to be. You'll see the difference there. We'll try to get, we know it's going to be here. Get it out there, sketch it in. And it was probably done with a computer. That car was drawn out with a computer. So a lot of times we want to draw like that, but that takes, sometimes certain materials or equipment or tools. All right, so there's our wheels. Now let's do the inside of the wheel. Inside of the wheel. It's going to be around that big. Now our model is the car. It's not smiling or anything. So, but if it is too easy, challenge yourself. Add shading, add color, draw two cars, draw a street, draw a background. You need to know what level you're at. This is a beginner's. So, you know, we're just sketching and practicing. All right, your two circles that are about a circle space apart. We've got our hubcap here. We're going to also use guidelines to kind of help guide. And I'm using this edge of my paper. I'm actually putting my hand against the edge of my notebook or sketchbook here, and I'm using it to help actually create a straight line. So there's these little tricks and guides that you can do. See, I'm using and this is how you can make a really straight line. See, just by using the edge. Just careful not to get a paper cut, because that'll happen too. There we go. So now I kind of brought it over, and right in there is going to be the other hubcap. So I've got my two hubcaps. If you're drawing for fun, it's just two wheels. The distance doesn't matter. It's just for fun. But when you're trying to draw for accuracy, that's where all these things really make a difference, because then, okay, we're trying to make it accurate. All right, so here we go. On that same, actually that same line is where that bottom of that car is going to be, that line. And then it's going to be on the other side as well. We'll bring it out. It's almost a square. It's probably a little bit thinner than a square. So, but it's pretty square. If you get it a square in here, same height, same width, we're looking at the ratio. Here, it's almost a square, probably a little thinner. There's my sketch, and it's all scratchy. No. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's my daughter. I love you, Dad. All right. There's that bumper now. Let's do the back bumper. Same thing. It's a little bit wider. I'm looking at it. And it's a little bit longer. It's a little bit here. This one would probably be more of a square. There we go. Right in there. And these lines are pretty thick. So when I go back in here, I can thicken up these lines from this sketch. So we got our wheels, we got our bumper. There we go. Last week we were doing our drawings a lot quicker, and we go a little slower on this week for the beginners. There we go. Let's see. Where's everybody? All right, looking good. All right, so now this other one, I can see it's going to be in here somewhere. So it's going to be here, and it's going to go up here, and this circle part, that circle part's right about there. I'm seeing where it starts and where it kind of stops up here, and I know this up here is a circle shape. Let me bring that down. So I'm going to have to go from here, go a little up. And right about there is where it starts kind of being a straight circle. I could use a compass if I really wanted to get technical, but it's good to kind of try to freehand it, see where the middle is. We actually would need the middle, that axis line. And then we have the other. All right, go ahead and do that. Sketch that in. I'm going to sketch the hood next. So here we go with the hood. This hood part right in here. From this part goes up and then connects right in there, just like that. Try to go a little slower. I was watching Bob Ross as I was doing that drawing, so I noticed how slow he talks and how, you know what it was? It was on NPR that I heard something about how calming his voice is and how some people would just watch just to hear him and go to sleep. Watching Bob Ross, and then we had that discussion with my friend, and we started watching Bob Ross.
Yeah,
right.
There is an app called There is a Bob Ross. It's a lot of sleepy stuff.
Can imagine. Really soft clouds. All right, so this is all extra right here. This was just helping guide my drawing. The windows do drop down below. So we're gonna bring this down, this part right in here, bring it down right across there. And there we go. And I already have my axis line right in here. So that's where my windows are gonna be, 2 windows in there. So I'm doing this line here first. And the app, Bob Ross app, yeah, I can imagine.
No, it's a app called Calm.
Oh, Calm.
CALM. Yeah. Yeah. It's very nice, actually. It's one of the part of Ross.
One part is Bob Ross, yeah.
Yeah, it's just many music, natural music. It's very nice. For kids, there is some stuff. It's when it's a COVID started, it's a insurance gave for free.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely, because a lot of people are stressed out, right? A lot of stress
Yeah.
happened, a lot of changes with COVID.
Yeah,
And
but
yeah,
I really enjoy it.
that's great. Yeah. And drawing it can be a same thing. Sometimes you can get frustrated trying to draw hands, or you're trying to do something because that's where your focus is, right? And
Yeah, absolutely.
but it can also be like a puzzle. You're like trying to figure out, knowing where the pieces are and things are. So yeah, it can go both ways. That kind of shows you where your walls are. All right, so here's our wall. We're going to see how that thickness of that window is right in there, that thickness. And this is probably a good spot right there to get it. And then once you get that, then you can go parallel, because you're watching this line as you're drawing this line. That's the challenge. I'm drawing this line as I'm watching this line. I'm drawing it and I'm trying to get it that same distance right in there. And that's a skill. When you're drawing bottles, when you're drawing shapes, you're almost having to look at something else while you're drawing, right? And to make sure that's kind of parallel. It's a little bit thicker here, so I can probably maybe thin it out because it is a pretty thick line. Maybe bring it down slightly here. I'm going to go ahead and bring that over. Sketch it down right there. There we go. There it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and let you do that. And then I'm going to split this one big shape. And then we'll be done. So there's a little bit of a space in there. I'm going to bring that down here for one side. And then we have the other side. Now I'll have to bring out my eraser and clean it up. Clean it up a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and draw on top. The question is, where's my eraser? We should be prepped. Prepare. Don't be scared, be prepared. I have a bunch of erasers here in this drawer. These are kneaded erasers. So if you don't know what a kneaded eraser is, that's what this is right here. A kneaded eraser, there's different kinds. I like the vinyl ones myself. These ones are good for charcoal, but I'll find my vinyl one is somewhere else. It's taking a little trip. I gotta open it. So clean up your drawing, draw another car if you'd like. We're gonna get to the Volkswagen right now. All right. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to clean this up right here, right? That space right in there, that space right in there. Clean this little part right here, our guides. It's kind of like the outline of a, when you write an outline, you have the structure of your essay. That's our structure. Now we can go in there, and if we want to use a marker, or if you want to keep that as a sketch, this is perfect right there. You don't have to try to make it perfect. You know, what's important is the practice. All right. There we go. All right. So, and if we want to shoot for accuracy, we can go darker, get our lines thicker, try to get nice, clean. And that's a good practice. Or you can just let it go. And we'll let that go. All right, let's go to, oh, actually, let's draw the flower before we draw the next card. There is a flower. There was a flower on here. Let's go to meetup again. And then we'll draw the, oh, here I am. There was this flower, and I'll break apart the flower. In a second. I'm in a bad gateway here. For some reason. This page isn't working. Wow. We're having an off night tonight. Thank you for coming out tonight. A little struggle here. Struggle's good. Just try to stay calm as you go through it. For some reason, we're getting a bad gateway. Whatever that means. Let's try this. Let's try a different one. Huh, that's bizarre. Maybe if we delete all this. Yeah, let's give it a second. There we are. Hey, I just guessed on that one. Wow, we're at 2,900 subscribers, getting close to that 3,000. Those of you joining us, here we go. Back to our pictures. Here we go. This flower, this is the one I was interested in. All right, so we're going to do this flower. Now let's break this flower apart. Copy the image address. There we go. Now with wrap to draw, with breaking things apart, you can draw anything you see. It's learning to see the shapes, learning to see, breaking it into its parts, and then eventually learning to see the form. But if you look at the shapes, let's look at the shapes. We see, yes, Josh, we'll see your art. It's all good. Thanks. We'll see your art after our break, after we draw our flower and our next card. All right, so there's the flower. Oh, actually somebody had that flower in there. Somebody. Oh, cool. Thank you, Korea. You guys are helping out. That's so awesome. I think that's the same one. Yeah, it sure is. All right, so let's break this apart. So we've got the big shape here, that circle shape. Now this drawing was done, I don't know who did this, and somebody's saying it's good to copy professional artists, and that's good, because you do see certain things like here. Sometimes this looks like it was done digitally, and it's a quick drawing. We're going to see if we can make this a little different. I'm gonna change it up, but I'm going to use this as a guide, right? But I do want you to see this circle here. And then the way it curves here, the way it just comes down and curves. I would say that's probably like 2. And try to simplify. If I simplify it with 1, you can see that angle kind of like there. But it's really probably 2 would probably be the best to get that angle a little more accurate. There it is. Yeah, because what you want to see is these angles, the angles. You see this angle here. This one's pretty straight here. This is almost like 2 angles here. Right there, boom, and those angles. The curves kind of almost happen automatically, but if you want to see the shape, these shapes first. And they also have axis lines, so there would probably be like an axis line in there. I would probably say that it's like an axis line. All right, let's go ahead and draw this. It's already in the chat. Let's break this down. And let's do this. A nice little flower here. Here we go. All right, let's do this. So we start off with our circle. This is going to be mostly a guide because that's where we're going to, our flower is going to be. And that really helps if you want to make it big or if you want to make it smaller. It really just, boom, there it is. And then you can see how it's going to fit on your paper. And there's a slight angle and curve to this stem. I'm drawing the stem already just to see where it's going to fit on my paper. That's one thing we didn't do is see how big the flower was compared to the stem. I'm doing it 1 by 1. I can check right here and it looks like it's 1 by 1 for myself. It's a little bit more. So the stem is, and that's what I have. I think I have the stem a little bit longer. And there it is, 1 by 1. I didn't do that or show that. So if I were to do this here, there's my 1. Here's my 1, and it's going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to do 2 flowers at the same time. A big one and a small one. And you know what? I think I'm going to be doing that more often with my beginning class. We're going to do 2 drawings. This will help for the first hour, especially, you know, I can have 2 drawings. That'll help. All right, so we do have a big leaf. Now this leaf is made up of 2 different shapes. It's made up of a circle shape and a triangle. It's a compound shape. So there's a circle shape that's right about there. And then a triangle that's on top of it, but the triangle does curve. So all you need is 3 points for a triangle. So we're gonna need this 1 point up here. 1 point up here, and then we're going to, I gotta turn that off. And then the triangle's down below it. Now watch this though. We're gonna shoot onto this. We're gonna push this triangle this way and that way. We're gonna make a curve onto it. So we have this point and this point comes out and then attaches itself to the circle. And then this pushes in and then attaches itself onto the circle. And you have this infamous teardrop shape, which you'll see in different places at different times. But that shape there is, you can see how it's constructed, how it's put together, right? The structure of it. Now we can erase that as a guide. But if you see the structure, this really helps because you'll see this shape again in other things, in other places. And you won't have to do it, break it apart because you're like, oh, there's the circle and there's the triangle. All right. We're going to do a little bit of overlapping here now. We're going to do an overlapping on this leaf. There's right on top of this, we're going to go on top and bring this up like that. I think it's a tulip or something. So, oh, like that. I'm not following my own. See, this is new. When you're doing something new, sometimes it's getting into the habit. So I'm going to catch up on my second drawing. So let's go do that. So while you're doing this one, I'm going to do my second drawing. I'm turning you off. Oh, you're busy. Several people can't get in. Oh man, why? What's going on? I just got a text that several people can't get in. Wow, I wonder why that is. Let's go to here and let's see. Several people can't get in. Let's go to our event. Yeah, our numbers were kind of low. 29. I don't know why people can't get in. Let's see. Tonight's events tonight. I don't have anything blocked or anything. I don't know what trouble they would be having. Yeah, everything's open. Just tell them to keep trying. I'm gonna I guess I'll post. Here's the 6. Well, let's see if we can get the oops. Here we go. Get this link. See, that's the link right there. Copy link. Oops. There we go. Copy. There we go. And I think that's where they're struggling here. Is it in the chat? Oh, Zoom link, please. Oh, there it is. Let's put it in here. It should be, the Zoom link should be in there. Should be you can see mine right here on this right side. Oh, you can't see it on my right side. All right, well, I put it in the comments. Somebody's people having trouble. It's not accepting the old password. There it is. Oh, it should be grid. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Some people having trouble getting in. All right. So I'm going to do it again over here on this side. I'm going to do it really quick. I've got my circle. That's probably a little bit bigger. Then I'm adding my triangle, which just curves right onto that. And this could be like a flame, or it could be like it's a little different from the one I have over there. Then we have some overlapping with this other leaf. Now this leaf is, I can see that like an oval shape in there. And then also that pointed turning tip right there. Just add that pointing turning tip to that oval. And there we go. There's our two petals, our two petals. I want to say leaves. All right, let's go back. Now this petal here is underneath. And now there is actually, this is interesting. I'm going to take some artistic license here. I'm going to go in front again. And they really don't show it too well, but there is a curve to this one. There's a turn. So I'm going to make it look like it's attaching there. There we go. And the way they drew it a little different. There we go. And then it comes down. There we go, like that. All right. I'll draw it again on my second flower. But let me open this up so you can see what I'm talking about here. There it is. And there it is. I would probably, it's interesting. Tighten it up a little more. I'm going to tighten this one up a little more. I'm going to bring that petal in just a little bit more on this drawing. There we go. So here's my oval shape, and then there's a little bit of a curve. And then it looks like a spoon shape. There's like a little bit of a spoon shape on the inside. Right about there. Let's clean it up. Yep. This is probably should be a little bit lower, but it's okay. I'm changing the proportions. I'm changing, and this will happen, especially when you're beginning. All right, here we go. We got two more petals. All right, let's do the two other petals. We've got a petal. Now here we have a tangent. You have to be really careful. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. This petal is going to fit in here. Now I'm going to break it so you can see the construction. It's kind of like the shape here. And then it's like if you were to get it, if it was a rubber band and pull on it, it has that point. So just like that, it's like a rounded shape. We're going to get it and pull it up, round that point out, and then bring it down. Like that. Let's do that on the other side. Bring it down. Let's clean that up a little bit. All right. And then on this other side, and this other tulip, it's same things similar is going on with this one over here. You can kind of see it, two sides of it. So we're going to do this kind of like a diamond shape, and then we're going to bring it in like that. There we go. Now there's detail on here. There's a lot of little lines. I don't know if it's shading or if they're creases, or, but we'll do those last. There's that shape. I'm going to bring this in a little bit closer. Tighten it up. There's our stem. Now let's do the leaves on it. All right, so there's one right in here. Again, remember that we had like 3 angles. You have like this one that's kind of curving up, and then you've got this like as in 2 here. And then we add all these little curves. All right, so you can see these 2 angles, this angle here, that angle there. And then now I'm going to curve it all up. Okay, so you have this angle almost straight up. It's going slight angle off, and that angle there. It's not completely vertical. There's a slight angle, and it's really learning to see and observe these angles, especially right now. It doesn't make a big difference, but when you starting to do drawings that are more advanced, a little more challenging, you really want to look and see those angles. And then you see the curve, just you can put the curves in afterwards. Oops. Just make it smooth as it goes in and out. There we go, get that shape. There's one. And the next one. This next one is almost like an oval in this direction. And then it has that same little wavy curves that are attached to it. So you see that oval and a little wavy curve. And then usually these leaves attach at a little stem like that, which I'm changing from the original drawing slightly. There it is. All right, let's do this next one. All right, so I'm going to do my second one, my second little flower. My 2 little flowers have birthdays. They turn 2. I have a granddaughter, a granddaughter named Violet. She turned 2 last week. And then I have my other granddaughter, Lily, and she's turning 2 next week. How did that happen, you might say? Both my sons had their little COVID babies a couple weeks apart, and by chance, flower names. All right, so I'm doing this left leaf first. I did put an oval shape at first, but here I'm just doing 2 parallel lines, and then adding that little squiggle. It's that little S curve almost. There we go. So that's attached to that. And then here I'm bringing it down to more of a stem than the original drawing that we're copying. Yeah, you know, feel free when you see something I like, hey, I like that, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it more to what I like. So here we go. Let's go here. Again, the 2 angles for this other leaf. 1 angle here, 1 angle there. And then the other one kind of like it's almost straight, but it's kind of going right about there. Now I can curve it in. Now that I blocked it in, I can go in there and curve out that angle. Add a little bit of more of that shape to it. Now, if you have colors, feel free to color it in. If you don't, we missed the petal over here. Let's finish that petal over here. Little petal. And then the details. Now, the details are just, I don't know, the artist who did this just put like lines through it. I would probably do it a little bit differently. I don't know. They are creases. I would probably thicken them out. They're too linear for me. But I'll just put them in. I'll thicken them up a little bit. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll thicken them up as in shapes like that. And these are creases or just design. I don't know. Interesting. I think Alan shows this drawing, yeah, for tonight. Now down here, these lines down here are actually almost like shading, because I would say they're more like shading. There's the, I don't know, we can do a shade like this, or we can do the creases of the lines think that's what they are. They're like lines that are going to be like shading. There's a whole bunch of them and they're not clear. If this were, I would probably clean it up like this. Like that. Clean up these lines a little bit more like that. Put a little more lines like that. Yeah, you got to follow your taste, you know, like, hey, wait a minute, I like the way that looks, or I don't like the way that looks, and it's okay, just let it go. And sometimes you can see why, and sometimes you can't. It's like, huh, until you come back to it, and like you come back to an old drawing, like, wow, I like that part, I didn't like this part, and then you just grow. You kind of reflect upon it. You want to reflect upon your work more than just doing it. Look at it and say, hey, wait a minute. Because if you don't, you'll keep making the same mistakes. Run into the same boyfriend, same girlfriend. It's like, wait a minute. Something's going on here. Yeah, there's really just those lines. Here they make more sense on the leaves of having these lines, because the leaves would have a little more, even these lines of texture. There's 3. And then here it's actually even, I don't know, it has another line in here that goes in here like this. Another line in there, probably 2 lines in there. And if you have colors, color it in. This is where our colored pencils would be good. All right. All right, so the smaller one, I'm just putting the wrinkles in. There we go. All right. Before I jump into the car drawing, we should probably do something a little more back to basics. Let's see other cars. Hopefully people got in who are having trouble getting in. Abuelo, that's so young to be a grandpa. I'm 55. Yeah. I could, okay, so I don't know, some people also having trouble logging in. All right, should we do eyes? Definitely not the. All right, let's take a look at attendees. See if there's requests in there. All right, cartoon, still life, poses. Maybe we can do some poses, landscapes and close-ups. Ooh, here's our first link. Actually, our latest link. It's not our first one. Let's see which one, what this is. Oh, okay. These are cartoon characters. Like a, let's go from the bottom up. Let's see. Here we go. Drawing landscape, anatomy, Asian streetscape, another pencil, and ink illustrations, objects. Objects are good. Flower, we got you. Flower, trees, people, Darth Vader, Kyle in the house. Asking for that Darth Vader. We will get to the Darth Vader second hour. Coastal scenery, interesting. I don't know. The coastal scenery, basic drawing techniques. That's what we're on. Perspective, abstract, facial expressions. Oh, here's one. Here's a link. Let's see what it brings us. Let's put it over here. Paste. It's a Pinterest. Ooh, and this one's definitely more advanced. This is a gazebo. So yeah, that actually, anything, how to draw a portrait with pen instead of using a pencil. Wow, what kind of pen? Comic storyline group trade-off. I think that person was the one that gave us our other one. Comic book strips. Anything is fine. Flowers, pencil, nothing specific. I guess we don't have too many. Here we go. Here's one. Sorry about this. I'm doing this now. Hopefully you're drawing and shading. Whoa, this is a nice one, but it's yeah, and that's the funny thing. Everybody wants to get to there. It does take some time. This is beginning. I want to be respectful of that. Oh, here's one with cars. I wonder if it's the same one. I'll show these in a minute. There we go. Drawing how to draw. Oh, Volkswagen Beetle. That's the same one. All right. So why don't we go jump to the Volkswagen Beetle? No, let's go to. Sorry about this. Somebody asked for. Let's do some birds. Somebody asked for birds and flowers. So let's do some birds for our bird draw. Simple. I like birds because they have a shape. Here we go. Here's some shapes. Let's share my screen. They have some really interesting oval shapes. That bird right here, for example. Then you have your cartoon birds. This bird is actually really neat. More cartoon birds. And then you have more realistic birds. Look at that. You can see actually here how they broke it down into shapes. It probably even started here, and they just built on top of that. That one's neat. And you can see the shapes. Nice. This is like really beginning. Here's that leaf shape. Ooh, look at that. The one we were talking about tonight. That little S curve on it. You can see that circle shape. And then they actually even added feathers on top of that. So making it more compound. Yeah, birds, and there's all kinds of different kinds of birds. Let's do this one. I like that one. I like the way we broke it down. So let's copy this image address. Let's put this down here. Step by step, drawing the wings. I got some detail. There it is. I'll put this in the chat, and we'll go ahead and do this one before we do the bug, and then we'll share out. Righty, somebody didn't like that. They jumped right off. It's all good. Yeah, tonight. We'll get to the after this. We'll get to the bug. All right, so we're going to go ahead and draw this. Let's break it down even further here. All right, it's in the chat. Let's break this down further. We got to break it down. So I'm going to use this circle shape. I like putting the circle right where the head is, and that gives us a good kind of position. A good start right there. Yeah, there it is. Look at right there. See that circle right there? Comes out a little bit. It's not a perfect circle, and it's actually flattened right there. You can see that top flattened. If I were to put the circle there, it's actually pulling this part out and pulling this part out. But let's say that's our circle, and you can see that circle there. 1, 2, 3. The body's about 2 heads. There are 2 circles, 2 of these circles. And then the tail is about a circle and a half. So this is proportions. We're using 1 unit, which is our head. Then we're using that to see how everything else is, like how long this wing is. There's 1, 2, and almost 3, a little bit less than 3, but almost 3 long on that. And the width of this, the body compared to that head is almost about 1.5. So here's our 1 and then half. I have just about 1.5 exactly. All right. So let's do this. Any questions? So it should be in the chat. Here we go. Let's do this bird. You can do it on the same page. Great. If not, that's all right. Oh, there's our other pencil. All right, so I've got my head is going to be right about there. I'm just going to block everything in. I'm not even going to worry about the details and the little pulling out and stuff. So I know there's the head. I know the body was about two circles long, 1 circle and a half wide. Right, 1.5 wide. Now there is an angle to this. So this angle here. So 1 circle and a half wide. right about there. I'm going to guess right about there. There's this shape that kind of attaches that. So you know the circle has the same height, same width. The body is going to attach itself something like this. Let's be more specific. So here's our clock right there at 9 o'clock. That's where it's going to come up. And then over here, this one's going to be, what's that, between 6 and 9? Actually, 3 o'clock. 6, 7, 8. About 8 o'clock, we're going to have it come down like that. This shape here. We have our width, and this comes down to a point right about there. So we have all the sketching in here just to see the shapes. I'm going to draw it again a little smaller. There's our circle head. You draw a circle for the head, and then we're going to draw the body. The body, it should come out twice as long. So I'm making it this small. It's still going to be the same proportions. The body's twice as long as that circle, and then the 1.5 times wide. And I'm eyeballing it. I'm just eyeballing it. So this is ratios. You're looking at the ratio, how wide something is compared to how long it is. And proportions is how big something is compared to something else. So we're seeing how big the head is compared to the body. So you should have something like that. I drew it twice. All right, now we're going to add the tail. The tail just comes out here. It's rounded off. There's the tail. Following this line. Come that way. There's that tail. Add the wings. Let's add the tail on the second one. Add the tail on the second one. It should come out. Let's see. Here's our head. There's 1 and probably 1.5. 1.5. Right there, 1.5. Now we're going to go ahead and do the wings. Add these wings. Wings go up in here a little bit. Right in there. And then they come out. Actually, let's do the bottom, because the bottom's straighter. The bottom's straighter and it comes out right about there. Now this is overlapping. This is how artists create space. And this overlapping comes out of that shape right in there. You get this wing shape that fits right in there. And then we're going to erase this part. This is in front. That's how artists create space. Even though it's flat, this wing is in front. Let's look at that. Oh, there it is. And you got to learn how to see that. Learn to see the parts. Learn to see how they relate to each other. There's that wing. Let's do this other wing to our second drawing over here, our small drawing, drawing number 2. While I'm doing drawing number 2, you can probably be doing your drawing. And that would make sense. Or if you want to do 2 birds, you can do that. Try to get them with 1 pencil. 1 stone. There's that wing coming out about that much. Fitting right about there. And then there's our second wing coming back from this side and coming down. We'll just almost to that point. Let's do that second wing coming out and also to its own point. All right. Let's just block in the leg real quick. There's 2 angles. There's this angle that comes down here like this, and then it comes out. And it goes onto, I'll make it an oval, this oval kind of like a little foot right there. So notice these 2 angles. I'm changing it from what they have. I'm simplifying it. This angle here, that angle there, and then that oval. Do the same thing over here. little angle this way, and then my oval right about there. And the oval, there's an oval distance in between. You can see that distance right there. Oh, how far out it needs to come out. And here's another place you can see how far out it comes out. That body right there. See, that's could be a guideline to help you see how far for placement. The second P in wrap to draw. We look for ratios, we look for angles, we look for proportions and placement. Placement, how far this thing is, because you could have the proportions right, how big it is, but it could be too far out. Your placement could be off. All right, I think that's it. That's it, pretty much blocked in. Let's get to drawing it. I'm going to start with the head, and I'm going to zoom in. 81 people signed up for this class. I know some people were having trouble getting in. I don't know what happened. I don't know why people were having trouble getting in.
No, today I had another Zoom class. I think it was Meetup, the problem.
Oh, yeah.
The link did not
Oh.
appear in it. And yeah, a lot of people, ended up logging late because she had to send emails separately to people to be able to get in. So it's not you, it's Meetup that messed up today.
Yeah, Meetup. Yeah, I know. I saw they were having some kind of error message. There was an error message that I saw. Oh, here we go. Let me see. I can get something in my inbox. I'll send something out to everybody right now. Okay. Can you please send me the link? Oh, yeah. People are having trouble. It's the same link every week. So I'm going to, somebody just sent me that. All right, cool. Let me message everybody that's in the meetup. All right, cool. Yeah, somebody messaged me. What's the link? Yeah, it was a really rough start as well. So, all right, let me email everybody in this. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Let me see. My tools, contact attendees. There we go. Let me send it out. All members. Here we go. Zoom passcode. Paste. Submit. All right, there it is. So hopefully people get it. Wow. Yeah, we had 87 people sign up. Okay, here we go. Let's do the details on this bird. Bird. Bird is the word. Now this is we're going to start off with the eye. The eye is probably really important. We already have this broken into fourths. It's going to be on this side above the middle, right there, right about there, a circle. So we're going to start off with that circle shape. It is a circle shape that big. Just figuring out how big it is. And let's zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. And we'll get it for both birds. So it's a circle shape right about there. Notice how big it is. It's probably almost a third. So you can see from the middle, it's like almost up a little bit from the middle, and it's on the left side of that center. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this axis line on my small one, but I'm drawing it smaller. So our circle is gonna be a little smaller, but right about there. I'm noticing the space above it and the space below it, and this space around it here, this space around it. Right. Okay. I'm going to put a highlight. There's a highlight in the top right. And that's just another small little circle there. See that small little circle? And then everything else around it is shaded really dark. There it is. And there's our highlight, which makes it really shiny. And to make that almond shape, all it is two little lines on the sides. There's one line over here and then one line over here, like a little Saturn, like the rings on Saturn. It's two little lines. Now I'm gonna see how small I can get this little highlight on this other one. So I'm gonna do my second bird now. Do the little eye and the little highlight. Trying to keep the highlight. There it is. And then I'm gonna add the little lines on the side. Oh, there they are. Now, what's going to really help this bird is pulling this part out, this forehead. We're pulling this forehead out and then pulling this back. Here we go. Actually flattening the head a little bit. It's really just mostly pulling this part out. As you pull this part out, that gives it really that shape. That's where that brain is, bird brain, right in there. All right. And then let's add that beak. And that beak comes out right in there, right where the eye is. Notice how it is in relation to the eye, that placement and the angles. I'm doing a triangle, but there is also just a slight band and curve at the tip. I'm doing the angles like a triangle, but there is a slight bend and a curve at the tip. It's not really pointy. It's not that pointy. And you tell what kind of things this bird eats. It eats seeds because it has a small conical beak. And if it had more of a beak like this, it would eat, it would be carnivore. It would be a carnivore. Oh, you don't see it. This beak. It would be a carnivore because that's kind of rips into flesh. Can't see beak? Yeah. Yes.
Eladio, did we see the completed picture of this bird, or is just a partial completion?
I did show it. I can show it again. I put it in the chat. I can yeah. Let me see. Here it is. It's right there.
Oh, but it's still not complete though.
Oh, complete? No.
Yeah.
There's no.
So like the tail, we need to make it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna make up the tail. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna add stuff to it. Let's see. Yeah. I'm looking for another bird. Oh yeah, no, it's all right. We'll just continue with the head. All right, so with this head, there's a lot of little detail in the beak. A lot of little detail in the beak. So I'll try to simplify it, but still give it to you. Oops. All right. Here we go. So it does curve. Oh, actually, let's do the middle part. So there's the where it breaks, and then come in and bring it in slightly like that. The bottom is a little bit smaller than the top, just slightly. I'm bringing it in right about that much. And then the beak, the inside parts, it's kind of like a arrowhead, like an arrowhead. I'll do that right now. So just get that first. And then I'm going to do the beak part. It's a little tricky. So it curves out and then out like this. See, there's that one. And then it continues to the bottom and then curves out again. Almost like an arrowhead. Like that. All right. Now, there's a lot of little feathers and stuff on it. I am not doing. We're gonna just keep it simple right now. I'll add them. All right. So now we're gonna do these wings in here, these feathers. So there's almost like a row of feathers here. There's like 2 rows. I'm gonna say that's 1 row and that's 2 rows. Especially when you see a lot of detail, it's easy to get mixed up. But if you try to see it together as one big shape, I can see that as one big shape here. One shape there, one shape there, and then a couple of extra feathers kind of coming down on this side. So I'm breaking it down into bigger shapes, putting all those little shapes into something bigger like that. Right, so this is going to help. These are just guidelines. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. The feathers are just little U shapes that are kind of going in here like this. I'm not doing it exactly. Just kind of eyeballing it. There we go. And this last one, this one goes up and onto the wing itself. Like that. And it's okay if you have some overlapping. This one overlaps a little bit. And there's that whole row of wings there. While you're doing that, I'm going to work on my other bird, my second bird. I'm pulling out the forehead. See, pulling out that forehead. And then pulling it back. Down. I'm going to go ahead and add that beak. And there's that beak. Drawing this one a little faster. At the arrowhead. That little arrowhead shape. There it is. There's beaks. Hummingbird. They've got interesting beaks. We got the two shapes. Let's get that shape there, this shape there. There we go for our guides. Now let's get the I got my guides in on that one. Let's get the second set of feathers. Second set of feathers comes in here, right in there. There's one right in there. And then there's overlapping feathers. They come off, they're underneath the top ones. So I'm just going to go ahead and they almost go straight curve and then another one on top of it. Straight curve, then another one on top of it. Straight curve. And then I'm going to close this up. I'll close it up. Closing up shop right there. There we go. Do that to my other bird. Little bird over here. Can't forget this one. Oops. Bring it up. Here we go. Little feathers. My second row. Oh, let's go. That's interesting. I'm going to make sure it goes underneath the wings because then it's going to look. Yeah, they do come out underneath. There we go. And then we have these two little feathers that are underneath right in here. So right in here, this little extra space, there's two feathers that kind of come out. One here, one there, and the other one is just about right there, puts itself in there. That's it. Look at that. It's coming along. Let's do that to my other one. Two little wings, two little feathers. Little wing. Blackbird fly. It's a really nice song, actually. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. That's actually that song. What Paul McCartney was watching TV and he saw something. I think it was, I don't know if it was a little girl in segregation, but when he wrote that song, the history behind that. All right, let's get going on this. Let's finish up this wing. So there's a bunch of feathers and it looks like they're going from top to bottom. That would probably be the easiest way to do it with one wing, one feather at the tip, at the end right here. So let me do that. Let's bring, actually this one right here, I just did that. So there's a whole bunch and they're all kind of going in here in this direction. So let me sketch it in so you can see this direction. We're going to be kind of going in this direction. Just kind of sketched it in real quick, but it's from the top to bottom because you have this one feather there, and then the other ones like are underneath below it, like that. And coming around. There we go. Just like that. Try to give it some form here. So it's not a line. These feathers should kind of stick out a little bit. And then you have the body. The body goes between the wings. So you got to make sure it's going in between. Here's the front of the bird. Make sure that front, get that front in there. Add a little bit of a feather. There it is. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All right. And the other one, let me separate these a little bit. I'm going to separate them. Separate these. Make sure this is separate. And up to the right. Right here. This should be up to the right. Right here. Actually, it's down to the down to the right, but I'm putting it up just because of, I don't know, perspective wise, I wouldn't make that longer usually. All right. I'm going to go from the bottom up this time. Bottom up. Bottom up. Bottom up. Try to capture that same direction. There we go. A little bit of overlapping. All right, that's the back wing. I want to shade it in a little bit. That'll push it back a little bit. I just do that automatically. If you can do that shading, great. If not, it's okay. And even the front of the bird could be shaded a little bit. This will push it this back. Even though there's no shading. I like doing that real quick. All right, let's zoom out. Let's look at our bird. There he is. Or she. All right, so we're going to do the, luckily I've drawn birds, so it's not really finished. But let's draw this little leg this way, and it's got a little claw, the back talon, and then the front talon. Notice these two angles, one in and then down, kind of like that. There's more of a curve, but to help you, I'm doing it more a little straighter. Let me zoom in on that so you can see that shape. Start off as an oval, but more of an angle. It's hanging onto a branch. We can bring that branch up over behind, down, add a little knot to it, a little curve maybe. And then we're going to break this in half, the front toes. I'm going to put a line down the middle. There we go. That'll help. Yeah, there isn't a finished drawing of this bird. I don't see. It's just for the tail. Tail, I'm just going to go, we'll just put feathers on it. There's no feathers on the guide, on the guide we're using. So we'll just do our own. Usually just feathers that come out. So let's zoom out and shake your tail feather. Shake that tail feather. Zoom a little bit. All right. Let's see what kind of shape should we give it. Not a lot of guides here. All right, we're going to open it up just slightly. I'm going to bring it more of a squared off bottom. And then there's going to be one will be bigger. This will be our one that's close to us, like that. That one feather. And then it's going to be two below that one. Just cut this one in half now into thirds. Try to get this rounded tip over here. And same thing. This one, around the tip a little bit more. Straightening it out a little bit. All right, let's do that again on the small one. Ooh, let's do the claw here. 2 little angles, center line, a little back talon. And these actually have like little rounded around here, around the, and it would go like a cylinder, the shape of a cylinder going around like that. Ooh. Little birds coming to life. All right. And they have these little claws at the end. I mean, they come to a point. I've seen birds like hang onto a wall, a stucco wall. It's pretty interesting how they adapt. Probably would have been in nature, bark on a tree. But we're in the jungle. We're in this urban jungle. All right, let me finish this bird up here. Do the front. There you go. Do that front. Let's do my feathers on here. Add those from the top to the bottom on this side. Bring these up a little, huh? Cut it a little short. That's all right. The back ones, top to the bottom this time. I'm cutting it a little bit shorter. Let's clean it up. Clean it up a little bit. All right, there it is. Yeah, these are a little shorter than that one, proportional wise. Looking at it, bring it out here, double our drawings. Here we go. One long feather. And then our other 2 feathers. Rounded part. And there it is. I think that's it. All right. Now, feel free to add backgrounds. Feel free to add butterflies or whatever you'd like. You can add, actually, this branch can continue on this back side here. And that adds to the illusion of depth because of overlapping. So we can say this branch continues behind the bird. A little bit of a little crink in it, and then maybe even branching off. There we go. That would be good. A little Y. Y. There it is. All right. 8:05. Let's share your drawings. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be drawing the Volkswagen next, and then we'll be drawing the Darth Vader. So we'll be drawing the Volkswagen, then the Darth Vader, our second hour. So if you'd like to share your drawings, feel free to share. If not, it's all right. Don't share to despair. Don't say, "Oh man, what did I hear today?" Something about comparing and killing joy. So don't, just try to get inspired and see what's possible. Some people here have been with us for over a year and drawing with us. So hang in there. Power of practice. It's about progress, not perfection. If you like your drawings, great. It adds to the excitement. If you don't, it's okay. It's something, have something to shoot for. You know what we're looking for. What we're working on. Ratios, angles, proportions, and just practice. Placement. Shapes and form. We just talk about shapes in the beginning, and then form comes later. All right, we have some hands. Let's start with Josh. Josh had some drawings he wanted to share also. Let's do this. All right, hold on. There we go.
Oh, so cool.
Nice. I like the little flames you put on it.
Yeah, make it a hot rod.
Super cool.
That's great.
That's creativity.
Here's my bird.
There's your bird. Sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
save one for last.
Let's take a look.
Nice.
Ah, that's cool.
Oh, cute.
24.
It's Kobe Bryant.
I was gonna say Kobe. It's his birthday. It was his birthday this week.
Oh.
Kobe. That looks good. That's awesome. Kobe, so cool in the comments. Awesome, Josh. Oh, can't see the beak. All right. Thank you for sharing, Josh. Awesome. Glad you shared your Kobe drawing. All right, let's go with Yelena.
Bye. Going out to dinner.
All right, good night. All right, Yelena, what you got?
Oh, I didn't finish a little bit. It is my car.
Nice. Oh
And
my
this
gosh.
Wow. look at-
I
Awesome.
love your flower.
and it is my birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Is this watercolors you're using?
No, I use and I bought some pencils. It was supposed to be pastel pencils, but I don't see big difference. Color pencils.
Really?
Okay.
Maybe a
Yeah.
little-
Can you show the flower again? Sorry.
Yes, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
That flower is so
Do you want to flower?
amazing.
Oh,
Yes.
flower.
Closer,
It's
closer.
like a crocus or something.
Right.
So pretty.
Yeah.
It's her shading and understanding of form. Yeah, all the shading.
Oh,
and
that's
That
cool.
bird is amazing too.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Eladio. I was almost 2 years with him.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. If you can do it, everybody can do it. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Yelena.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's go with Jane. See what you got.
Hi, Jean.
Hey,
Mhm.
so this was tonight,
Wow.
Nice.
Cool. Mhm.
Cool.
and it was the bird.
Oh,
Very good.
Hey.
good.
Thank-
Really.
And then you had some buildings.
I did. This was something, just kind of a quick sketch I did.
Whoa.
Oh, I like that perspective.
It's huge
Yeah.
perspective.
Cool.
Well done.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Great feedback. All right, awesome. So yeah, definitely you really have a sense of massiveness on that perspective. It really makes you feel small in that space.
Oh, that was when I did.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
That's
Parts, thank you.
amazing.
It was tricky, a little bit off on parts where I could go back and redo it, but
Yeah.
I'm so
Oh, I
impressed.
love that.
Yeah, I love the windows have this. Oops. Oh. I
Yeah, and
think-
then the doorway too.
yeah,
The shading in the doorway.
the shade and you see 3D. Wow.
Yeah. Cool. The stairs.
So good.
Thank
Did it
you.
come from the
Everything. That's
picture
so
or
good.
just its imagination?
from a picture from a YouTube channel that I follow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, YouTube
Ah.
now.
So
that's
it was
so
like-
cool.
Step by step.
Was water the harder perspective to gain, like to put both a street and then water into the same kind of direction?
So
Is
nice.
water harder to do? Yeah.
I feel like it was harder to get that effect, that it was actually water and sailboats.
I feel like
than
if you
there
look
was
at both of those at the side by side, they both look like they have perfect perspective. But when we put water next to pavement or whatever it is, it's a harder thing to really give, I don't know, give perspective on, huh?
Yeah, I like how
agree.
the shadow from the on the
Yeah.
sidewalk.
Yeah,
Cool.
and the
but
the
so
shadow
cool.
from the word. Thank you. I really like how this came out.
Yeah.
Did you use the ruler?
I did use a ruler in parts to like the sides of the building, the top, or it's down and
Yeah,
up on the
That
side.
is so
for the
good.
stair.
The windows are really good too. Love it.
Yeah,
And the
Thank you.
gutters. Yeah.
great job.
Oh,
Thank you
Nice.
so much.
everything is so good.
All right. Demi says, wow, one day with practice would like to be able to do urban sketch building. Yes, we can do that. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
that's my goal. What she just did and what Yelena did. That's my goal, to be able to do that eventually.
you. Okay.
Yay.
Next week, well, we can do perspective next week. So I'll write that down. So stick around for perspective next week. We can do that. All right. Let's, Ina, thank you for sharing, Jane. Awesome.
Oh,
You're welcome.
I don't know if I want to go after her. The two great ones.
Wow. So
Nice.
Still
good.
a line drawing of the
Two.
flower.
Like that shading. Yeah.
And
Bibi.
then
Making it
the
really
bird.
yes.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
Just like his.
I think the bird.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome job. Amazing. I had to step away and miss the ones before, but could hear the oohs and ahs. So I bet they're fabulous. Ina, thank you for sharing. Let's go with Kelly. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Kelly, what you got? Oh, blur now. Oh, yeah. That's right. Oh, there-
We can't see very well.
Yeah,
Let me
the-
take myself off
Okay.
the blur.
You're gonna take the blur off? All right, there you go.
Oh, very nice.
Nice, very nice.
Very
Nice.
cute.
I
Sweet.
like the branch.
The leaves, yeah.
Oh, the branch, yeah.
The feathers,
Mhm.
really nice.
Super cool.
Thank you, Eladio.
Thank you for sharing. All right, Kelly. All right. Oh, I just lost. Oh, I think got Haiti. Haiti next. All right, let's go with Haiti. What you got? First timer. Welcome, welcome.
This is my first time in joining you guys, so I'm so excited.
That's so cute. Love
This
it.
is my car, and this is my flower.
That's
Wow.
beautiful. Good job.
It's the first
Not,
time.
not your first time drawing.
Yeah, Claire.
Actually, it is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Well done.
Yeah, because the overlapping on your flowers look wow. We'll put your flowers back up again. I love the
I
overlapping.
don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making it look good.
That's
Yeah.
so
lovely.
lovely. That is really
Good
lovely.
eye.
You
Yeah.
intertwine them. You intertwine them. It looked like it's all one drawing. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
You're a great teacher.
Thank you for joining us. All right, Heidi, thank you for sharing. And let's go with Peggy. Peggy, let's see what you got. There's your little bird.
bird.
Bringing it to life. Sweet.
Very sweet. Wow.
It's really good.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Good too.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing. And go with Marianne. Marianne, hello.
Hi, it's been so long. I'm glad to be
Hello.
back.
And we're here. All right. There's your little car, little pup.
Very nice.
I was a bit late, so I just kind of rushed through some of these.
Okay, upside down.
Very nice.
That looks really
Aw.
good. Very nice.
Very cool.
Clearly, you're already talented.
You use the space well too.
Yeah, that looks good. Look at the wings.
Very cute.
The wings are really good too.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Thank you. Eladio, are you going to do the advanced and beginner classes again? Or I know you mentioned doing that at some point.
Yeah, we were doing them. I'm gonna have to set one up for next week. I think I don't know. I had them going on alternate days, so
Okay.
we might just those numbers are a little bit lower. I'm going to have a form for people to fill out so we can focus on the advanced stuff a little bit more and see what people really want to do with the advanced stuff. That way it'll help a little bit more. So I'm working on that form, and so we can help you a little more. And whoever shows up, yeah.
Yeah, I won't be here for the next few Thursdays because I have something on Thursday night. So I was hoping there was another class.
Oh,
but-
another night. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Only Thursdays right now.
Okay, that's okay. I'll be back in the future then.
All right, cool. Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Thank
joining us.
you.
All right, Mary. Thanks for sharing. We're gonna go with Cynthia. Cynthia, what you got? There's
Yes.
oh, you look
First-
good.
Fine.
It's going so fast.
Uh-oh.
There you go. It's your filter.
Psychedelic VW.
Everybody gives comments. It's awesome. More interactive. Yeah, there's somebody smoking that flower. It's in loose focus. Focus. What you focus on is what you get.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Good job.
Right.
Birds.
So we did 2 birds.
One in the hand. What is 2 in the bush?
How to stay on the beginner?
Huh.
Because it's my first drawing.
Yeah, how do you stay? Oh, okay. Yeah, the beginner class is every week, and then we go into intermediate the second hour, and then we'll go advanced the third hour. So that's what we're kind of been.
Okay. Oh.
So that's what we've been doing. We were going to do a second night, but just handling one night has been a handful. So
Bless your heart.
all right. Plus, we go for 3 hours. So thank you for sharing. Let's go with, yes, thank you, Cynthia, first timer. All right, let's go with Anne-Francois. Let's go. Hello.
Hi. So my friend Julio, who is also in the class, he gave me some pencils. So it's so much nicer, pencil and paper.
Yes, especially when you start getting into up on the tiers for shading or value and stuff like that, using the different materials. But yeah, really nice.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing. Any questions? Good. All right. Let's go then. Thank you for sharing. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Eladio, and everyone.
All right. Let's go with Andrea. Andrea.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi. This is my first time ever joining, so I actually was looking on your website ahead of this. I don't even know how this works, so let me try.
You're
Oh,
getting
wow.
There you go. Sweet.
Okay. Or maybe it was your link. So I did that one earlier today. I did this one also, which was just the faces, right?
Yes.
Here's my
Oh,
Herbie.
The love bug.
The love bug. I did spend a little bit more time on this.
Like I said,
Very nice.
Right.
I
So
like the-
it's kind of funny because I saw the shape of the top of these leaves and I was like, gosh, they're very much like an artichoke. So I could have made that like almost an artichoke. And then lastly was just this, and that's silly.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's
Wow.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Whoever
Beautiful.
said that, thank you.
Super cool.
Very fun though. I will definitely come back again.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Eladio.
You're welcome. Let's go with Enoch. Here, what you got?
Hi, I was late, so sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So
It's
cool.
like a Woody.
Yeah, I go surfing in that one.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh
That's
my
beautiful.
goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
Those
So
colors,
cool.
amazing.
I love the background.
Wow.
Whoa.
Very mysterious.
I
Did you
like
do
that.
it on the black paper or white paper?
White paper, night scene, dark at night. You paint dark at night, no lights.
No lights.
So
Right,
cool.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Great.
Sharing. All right, let's go with Jesse. Jessica, there we go. What you got? Hello.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
There they are.
Great.
Like a little car.
I missed the car seats. I went
Just
to
like the corner.
do this car.
It's great.
That's
It's
why.
cute.
So fun.
Yeah.
You got something on the back?
What happened?
Did you have something on the back?
Oh, it's a marker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
cool.
it's my turn.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I like that everybody's putting in so much talent in the group. A lot of people putting in comments and giving feedback. That's awesome. All right, I feel the community. All right, that's great. Thank you for sharing, Jessica. Good seeing you at it. I think we're gonna, Andrea, did we get you already? I'm not sure.
Yeah. All good.
Your hand up. Let me put your hand down.
Oh, sorry.
All right, I got it. All right, that's it. We're gonna go on to, I guess we're gonna take on the challenge of the actual Volkswagen. So let me share that screen.
Wow.
On that one. So this one's a little more challenging. Oops. So here we go. That's where did it go? All right. So the Volkswagen is here. There it is. And then we're going to do Darth Vader. We'll give Darth Vader. Is Kyle here? If Kyle's not here, we're not drawing it. All right. So how to draw a Volkswagen Beetle. Now this is kind of, this is what I always get with the drawings. They kind of show you like step by step, but they don't really kind of like break it down. We're going to break it down a little bit more than this. So this is really nice. This is also somebody else's question. This could be done as well. Oh, I think we can get to that one. Oh, there it is. All right, so let's get to this. I'm going to put this in the chat, and then I'm going to break it down. So let's put this in the chat first. Oops. Oh, Priyanka is here, I think. Paste. There we go. So there's the link to this. Oh, that's just the JPEG. It's not the website. This is an interesting website. It has tutorials on it. I'll put this one as well in the chat. There we go. Feel free to get up and stretch as well as we kind of go in between drawings, you know, as we explain this as well. All right, so we're going to do the same thing and look at the distance between the wheels. That really helps, right? So this is an orthographic view, which makes it a little simpler, but let's break it down. Let's, where's my annotation tools? They're right there, circle. Let's do the circle. Can we guess? Can anybody guess how many circles tires are in between these two tires?
3.
3, I think so. That's actually probably pretty close. 2 or 3. I think 3 something. Well, let's see. Let's see. So here's, oops, Control Z. There we go. Here's 1, I believe. Probably a little bit smaller. You can put it in the chat. Had a great time. All right, Yelena, we'll see you next time. All right, so here's 1. So let's see how many tires are in between. There's 1, 2, probably like 2.5, 2.5. I would say 2.5 tires in between. So yeah, let's see. I wish I could copy paste these circles, but I can't. So there's 1. So it's 2.5 tires in between. This really helps because we know what a circle is. A circle is, no matter how big or small it is, it's going to be a circle. But the placement, this really helps. Getting the distance between, so it's going to be 2.5. And what else are we looking for? Well, this is going to be really easy here. This part, this is the bottom of the Beetle. That's simple. That's a straight line, just about. It does drop. You can see that drop a little bit, but it goes from there to there, pretty much. And got this circle here. The circle. Probably, I don't know if we describe it too well, but it's really similar to what we have on our first drawing. It does have this kind of angle here and this other angle. I'm trying to see how I can break it down into something a little more manageable. Oh, this angle here is going to be important as well. This one right there, that one, that angle. All right, I'm going to try to stick a circle in there, and then that'll be it. We'll just go with it. This is very similar. Now, what makes it a Volkswagen is just that that curved back and this front part, but it's very similar to our drawing that we did. And if we try to get a circle in there, you can see how it kind of fits. Oh, let's make it bigger. There we go. That's probably a little more like the circle part of the shape that we would need. Look at that right there, that part of that curve. All right, let's do this. But before, let's clear all drawings. Let's bring this up. Yeah, because you can see it just, they break it down, the shape of it, and then they just go step by step how they did it. All right. Now let's just do it. Let's do this. Here we go. All right. Oh, sorry, I had a spotlight. Right, I'm going to spotlight my drawing. Here we go. So let's get those tires in. Let's get that first tire, and then we need 2.5 spaces in the middle. Almost 3. Fractions. Here's 1 circle. That's the one we need. This is going to be in the back. Make sure we have space over here for the back of the car. And then once we have 1 circle, that's going to dictate everything else. I didn't even use that circle up here. I can see it right now, but using that circle as our unit to see around it, because I know it's like probably like, I would say 1.5 circles high. I should have done that. Oh, next time. All right, so I'll do it now actually, but I'm not going to be able to show it. So we have our 1 circle. Let's do our axis line. Let's get that measurement. We're going to go 1 here. That's 1. We're going to go 1, 2.5, and a half, right about there. So there's our distance, quite a bit of distance. This makes a difference. And then now we're going to get that same circle, put it over here. And so you can use guidelines. I'm using the edge of my notebook to get the top and the bottom. Right there. I'm glad you guys are having fun. That's great. I'm taking on these challenges. See this one, if you just need a car, 2 circles and and there's your car. But when it has to be a specific car, when it has to be more the specifics, that's when you're like, wait a minute, it doesn't look like a Volkswagen, or that doesn't look like this. Especially when you get to portraits, you can draw faces, but then how can you making it look like somebody? That's the challenge. And you don't always hit that target, and that's okay. It's about the practice. It's about the ratios, the angles, the proportions. You'll see as you practice, you'll progress. And that's what it's about. It's about progressing. It's about the progress, not about perfection. All right, so there's our wheels. There, the placement is right, and that center line right in there is going to be right. And then let me see. I'm going to measure on my screen. Here's 1 tire, and we're going to go up, and it's about a little bit more than 1 tire high. That's interesting. So we're going to get that 1 tire, this 1 tire, and then we're going to bring it up, and a little bit above that. Above that is the top of the car. So here again, I'm going to do it again. So I'm taking the measurement of our tire here, bringing it up, and it's up a little bit higher than that. It's a little bit taller than that tire. So here's the tire, bring it up, and it's just a little bit taller than that. That's the top of the bug. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take that and curve that down. I'm using my wrist, bringing it out this much. Actually, probably, how much is that? Is that a little bit less, or about half the size of a tire? How far out are we going? Yeah, about half a tire. So get that half tire, bring that out, half tire, and then we're going to kind of go up and curve onto that line. There we go. There, that's it. That's the back of the bug. Okay, look at that. The back of the bug. There's our top. Everything's looking pretty in proportion to what I see there. All right, now here, right about here is where that, and I don't know how else to break it down, but there's going to be a door in here. This door, and that's right about that big. I can probably move it over a little bit more. You're going to have to eyeball it. I don't know how else I can describe it or break it down. You just have to eyeball it. There's going to be the door. It's going to be there. Now this door is important because this is where that angle is for that window, that angle here. This angle is a little bit taller than 45. It's about a 45-degree angle. Bring it up a little bit. You can see 45. 45 is half a page. So this is up a little bit there. And then the front of the car comes down. There. There, that's the structure. There we go. That's the structure. Yep. All right. Thanks to those who offer these suggestions. Ellen, thank you for finding these pictures. It helps because then, you know, we're drawing what you like to draw. That's what makes it funner. When you find drawings that you want to draw, oh, I want to draw that. I want to do this. I want to do that. If those of you wanting to do perspective, find some interesting perspective pictures. Say, hey, how would you do this? You know, it's just breaking it down, seeing the big shapes. We do the same thing all the time. Try to see the big shapes first and then the smaller shapes. I might have to bring this back a little bit. Let me see. I'm trying to find just the right space for this. Bring it back just a little bit. I'm looking back and forth at my drawing and I'm making these adjustments. And I'm, you know, adjusting the big shapes because then the small shapes kind of fall in place. The small shapes fall in place. If you see the big shapes first, the small shapes kind of fall in place. And just kind of like the other one, the windows kind of align with the front of this car. So that it's going straight, like right in there. And that's going to be a nice little guide for our windows. All right. Okay. And then we've got the little fenders. Let's do the fender, little fender bender here. It is rounded, kind of goes around right in there. Comes down almost parallel with that tire. And then it curves at the bottom, curves down right in there. I'm going to get that same height. Actually, it goes a little bit tall, higher on the other side, I think it looks like. And I'll bring it up a little bit. And this actually comes down to a point. Right in there, comes down to a point. I might have to bring this forward a little bit more. And making these little adjustments. There we go. Right. Now you do see the inside of this this fender, so you're going to see a little bit of a coming off the tire, right off that top. I'll bring it. Oops, let's move it over a little bit. Bring it over. Oh, see if I can bring it to a point. There we go. Bringing it a little more forward. I pulled mine back a little bit, but it's than the original. And that's it. These are the major parts. Everything else is just now the small detail in it. So let's get all the detail. We're going to go from left to right, and we're going to add that backlight. There's like this backlight right in here. About in here. It was funny. We had one of our one of the bombers that we've had. I recognized him in another class I was in. And right away I said, "Hey, get this kid out of here." And they did. And right when he was about to do some bad stuff, so luckily they got him out. But it's funny. He's like going from different Zoom classes. I recognized him. I'm like, "Hey, I know him." So it wasn't just my class that he's doing. He's going to other Zoom classes. All right, so that's that back fender. Now you can also see the inside on the inside of this one too. So if we're gonna go right off the tire, like right off the tire at the top, almost 12 o'clock to the left of 12, come out and kind of like zoom out right there, just like that. And this is the inside of that tire, inside part of the, not the tire, but the inside part of the car. And if you shade that in, that would kind of like help push that back. That would be shaded. Well, I would probably shade that really dark. Actually, this is probably the darkest part. Let's shade in there. Because the tires are black, but the tires would still be shaded. But the tires right in here, it'd still be actually a little bit lighter than that. Although it's reversed on the drawing, I look up and I see it reversed. It's all good. All right, we're gonna go. We've got this. The profile of the car looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and off of this, there's a line that's parallel to this top line. So make sure this line is right or looks good. We're gonna go. Yeah, it goes parallel. So it goes pretty parallel with that. I'm gonna go from here and just kind of go parallel with that line. As I'm drawing it, I'm looking at the line above and trying to get that parallel. So it goes here, then it drops down, and it's supposed to drop down to this line right here. And it connects right there. Let me clean it up. There we go. There's that. And then this line does connect there. I'm going to make it darker as it goes up. Volkswagen does it again. Yeah, I heard Ford is getting rid of all their engineers that do the gas cars in California. That I heard that like yesterday. And then today I heard California is getting is going to mandate all cars being sold be non-gas. So there's going to be electric, there's going to be hydrogen, there's going to be probably other solutions, but no more combustible engines. California has always been on the cutting edge of a lot of things, the hula hoop and different
Is
things.
that used cars true?
Is the what? Used cars?
What-
No.
Oh,
No,
okay. I was like,
just,
oh man.
just new cars. So
Oh.
used cars, you can still buy and sell gas cars, but new cars, brand new cars, will have to be no gas cars. So there's going to be a change in infrastructure. There's going to be a lot of changes going on. And with that, because gas stations, it can't just, one day to another start changing those. But yeah, you'll be seeing more electric stations and other stuff. All right. Let's do our windows. Our windows, we already have our space for the windows. They kind of fit in those spaces. I'm going to make it a little more parallel. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. They have a straighter angle here and then it curves. So I guess I'll do that. But I would do a parallel just to keep it simple. But if we want to shoot for accuracy, there's that. And then it curves down right in here. And it attaches itself right about there. Comes down. There's that window. All right. Kyle's not here. Is Kyle here? We're going to do Darth Vader. If not, we'll do something else. Darth Vader. I remember drawing that Darth Vader in middle school. Shout out to Kyle because he sends sends people our way. There's that back window. I kind of gave it more space than it had in their drawing. I'm trying to bring this a little forward. The next window, a little straighter here. And then down. I think this line should have been further back a little bit. That's all right. Yeah, talking and drawing is a skill. There we go. On the other side, there's one line in here. All right, we're almost there. Let's get this bottom line in there. It goes right here. And then right when it goes right close to this tire, kind of goes up. It goes up in there. All right, there's the hood. We just need the hood. All is good in the hood. There we go. There's the hood of this car coming down parallel with the top. So it does curve in. I mean, if this is kind of like a circle, you can see part of a circle in there, and then it goes parallel with the top of the car there. Then you got a little button for the headlight. I learned to drive in a stick in a Volkswagen. Funny story. I went to a Halloween party. No, it was a party. It wasn't a Halloween party. It was another party back 30 something years ago. Back 30 years ago. Anyways, my friend, and I was like 18. Yeah, I was like 18, 19. And my friend's Volkswagen, he got drunk, and I didn't drink at all. So I'm there trying to get him first into the car. And then from there, he was like totally out. I had to learn how to drive stick by myself. I drove all the way home in second gear. Yeah. Now I know how to drive stick. I actually have a car stick shift.
I drive stick too.
That's cool. It's a different. It's fun.
Is driving in second gear like the thing? I don't know how to drive stick shift.
Yeah, no, driving in second gear is slow. I was afraid. I was happy that I got it into second gear, and you know what? The Volkswagen, the shift, it didn't have any numbers on it, so I didn't know which way to push it or pull it. I was just trying different things. The car would stall on me. I would be bumping back and forth. Oh man, how I didn't get pulled over, or how, I don't know. It was really late at night, and yeah, and I got it home. Yeah.
We had two Volkswagens when I was growing up. We all learned how to drive on them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Tough cars to drive.
Yeah, yeah. And I think back now and I'm like, oh, okay, I can see how I did it, but wow. I wouldn't recommend it. Learning on your own. I already knew how to drive, but it was just, I didn't know how to do stick. So I was like, yeah. All right, we're gonna get I think the only thing is we're needing the door handle, which is probably a third of the way. Here's half. That's about a third of the way up, and it just comes in straight. Then it curves down. It curves down almost like it's dropping. So it goes in, curves down, and then straight back. And then there's like a little attachment. This little attachment. And then it goes up like that. There's the handle. Let me zoom in. It's a little detail here. So it's kind of going off, and then it curves down and then comes straight back. And how big that is, well, I'm just going to have to eyeball it. If I break it down into thirds, it's less than a third of the door. Probably a fourth. If I were to break it in half and half again, probably a little bit more than a fourth. Although it looks like a fourth on the drawing itself. Yeah, this line probably should have been back in this window. That's okay. Getting some proportions and placement wrong, but that happens. Just let it go. I can see it though. I mean, I would change it, but I don't want to change everybody's drawings. All right, so we have our center because we have our axis lines. We're going to use that center, and then actually we can probably put the first circle on there. That's that first part of that hubcap, that circle, dark. And then around that one, let's see, is two more circles. So for the hubcap, you know, 1 and 2. Don't want to make a white wall tires here, so you kind of have to see the proportions and how big that is. Probably bring that in a little bit. Go around, concentric circle. It's good practice. Try to sketch it in. Around and around. That's so cool. Somebody I don't know if she's hearing still, but looked at our videos and got the frog going, got the other drawings. It's really good from videos because you can pause, you can speed up, you can play at different speeds. I'm gonna try to get those videos. I need to go and edit them, fix them up, and sometimes make it, I can actually add special effects on them and stuff. But we'd have to get original drawings, I think. I don't know. Well, let's see. We'll go until they say something. It's all educational. There's my tire, my hubcap. You can use that as a guide again. Bring that over. The lines, you can bring them over. Get that hubcap on the other side. Bring it over. The top and the bottom. The center. Do the middle. Right about there. And then 2 more lines. All right, we should do requests in the chat for the next drawing. We can do perspective. If you find a picture, somebody can be out there looking for one. Let's do this one.
What about the hands?
Oh, the hands. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Pearl.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yes, we are going to do hands. So don't look. We do have hands. We're going to do the hands. That's right.
Can you pull the picture back? I can see better.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. There we go. Yeah, my circles aren't that round. Yes, this is the good thing about live. I can repeat or I can change things on the fly. And if we were live, I can see your drawings and say, suggest like, hey, work on this, work on that. So I don't know, sometime next year, well, maybe next summer, see how hot it gets. Maybe during the spring and fall. During the spring for a while until it gets too hot. I don't like being out when it's hot. Maybe we'll do some Saturday mornings here if you're in Southern California. Sunny Southern California. All right, there's my tires more or less. So try to fix them. The hubcaps. And then I think that's it. And just shading. I'm going to shade. It's a good practice shading. Just get that shading in there. It doesn't have a lot of form. I mean, as far as like form, you should be able to. We're using shapes, but there is form here. There we go. All right, 850. And just shading inside, shading the windows in. That quick shading. We'll draw some hands and we'll call it a day. So let's go to, we're going to go to the hands next. Now the hands, really good. I'm going to talk about some tips on drawing hands. That would help on proportions. Shading the tires in. And actually, if you would add a shade for the under the car, that would make it, I would add a little bit of a shade underneath. And that makes, so it doesn't look like it's floating. Make it look like it's actually on something. Shade my tires in. If you shade them flat, then it's flat. But if you understand how light would hit an object and add, you know, maybe like here, the hubcap, bottom half, a little bit of a shade there, like that, it would give it another dimension. So like that, little, like a moon shape. It could actually probably even add a little reflection of whatever's around it. That would be really cool like that. Look at it more 3D, more real. And I would probably shade things here and there. All right, let's get to the hands. All right, let's get to the hands. We've got the hands. There's some eyes, but oh, the head was a good one too. I'll just share my screen. Let's share my screen. How many people we got? We've got quite a few hardcore heroes here tonight. 22 of you, my favorite number, including myself. All right, so we've got this head. I really like the way they broke down the head. Meadow found this picture. It's a circle in there. You can see the circle, but it's look at the height and the width, the ratio, right? It's 1-to-1. They broke it down here, and you can see that this jawline does go there to that ear, where that ear is, and the eyes are in the middle. So these are just some proportions and things to look for, and understand and know. Because it's one thing is looking for proportions, but then another thing is knowing them, right? And once you know the proportions, it makes it even easier. It's like, oh, okay. Well, here the drawing got a little bit eggy, and here it looks like the front of the face got bigger, so they're kind of losing part of the proportions themselves. But I like the way it's broken down there. I think it might have been a copy of a drawing. All right, so let's go to the next one. The hands. Where are the hands? It's the bug. Another bug. There's they are. There they are. These are the hands. What was this? Oh, that's the head. I don't know what that is. All right, so a couple things to understand when you're drawing hands is that the biggest part of the proportions is the hands are two parts, and they're pretty close to being the same size. The palm and then the fingers. So those are the two parts. You have the palm and then you have the fingers. Now, when it comes to the fingers, those are a little more complex. You just got to look at the angles. But the palm, you can see here's the palm of the hand, and they're breaking it down into, and the angles and stuff. That's kind of interesting. You see how the palm, and it's smaller, and then the fingers. You see there, it's the same, 1-to-1. Right, so the palm and then the fingers. So you have the palm and then the fingers, right? The palm and the fingers are bent here, so they look smaller. But it's once it's open, it's there, and there it's 1-to-1, just about. Now there's two palms. A lot of times you see triangles, and sometimes you see these like kind of like square shapes. And you want to see the angles. See the angles. Angles are so important when it comes to fingers. Seeing these angles. So you have that angle and that angle here. And this palm, I don't know, you've got the thumb in there. Sometimes you see this palm. Let me give you the palm shape. That palm shape. This palm shape here. And then the thumb coming off of it. This is the thumb. Right. Simplify. There's that palm, and then you can see these angles for these fingers. All right, and you can see it broken down here as they break it into curves. Now, another thing with these fingers is it goes down. This is the biggest part right here, this part, and then it gets smaller, and then it gets smaller by thirds. Right, so. I don't know if there was another one on drawing hands. Let's see if we can find one more on drawing hands. Let me see. Let me clear this. Thanks. Oh, if we get to, yeah, we can get to that one. Drawing hands. Now, if your hands are straight, yeah, look at those. This is, when it's broken down. Oh, this is a good one. You can see them actually seeing these curved lines here, seeing the connections. These fingers look bigger than and that happens with foreshortening. Sometimes you want to foreshorten. Oh, a Holberth has some really good hands. And here's form with hands. That's form. Seeing the form. That's the next level. You want to get to the shapes first. You can see the shapes, and this is good. See these lines here? You can see the palm and then see the fingers. Drawing this line, seeing this relationship helps as well. And here's that shape, that palm shape. There's that palm shape, and then here's that triangle here. You get this a lot too, that triangle with the thumb. Here's the fingers together. Here's the fingers apart. I'm going to talk a little bit about that fingers together and fingers apart. And here's another one, fingers apart. Now this one right here. Oh yeah, here's the lines. Here's these guidelines. This is a little exaggerated, but not much. I think it probably back of the palm, but it's good practice. This one, I have this book, Hogarth. That's what I mentioned. I said Hogarth. Bring this book out. This is a really good book to draw hands. Let me see if it's in our drive. What is it called? This drive. PDF drive. That's it. pdfdrive.com. pdfdrive.com. There it is. Let's type in hands. Hands. It probably is. That book is really popular. Drawing hands. Hogarth. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, not handset. Stop that. Nope, not handset. There we go. Hands. Learn Python one day. No. Huh. Why don't we type in the artist's name, Hogarth? Memory. Hogarth. H-O-G-A-R-T. Hogarth. So, there it is. This is drawing the head. But where's the hands? Look at this. There it is, drawing dynamic hands. So this book is good. Let's see if we can download it or preview it. I should have previewed it first. But it's downloading already. Oh, it's checking. There it is. All right. So so this is the let me see, and that's it. Let's just download it. I'm out of space on my computer. I'd hate to do that. Well, let's download it and see what happens. There it is. Open when done. There we go. There it is. So really good stuff in here. I don't know if we'll do something from here. Look at, yeah, it really breaks it down into planes. This is great. This is when you start to get into form. Hogarth has some really good stuff. So let me get that link to everybody. If you practice drawing these hands, these are really good. He really breaks these hands down. Like that hand right there. That's really neat. Actually, we should draw that one. Yeah, you can see how he breaks it down into the planes. He really gets a good, strong sense of form. Really strong sense of form. And there's a lot of pages. There's 142 pages here. All right, so let me copy this and paste it. If you want it, you can download it. If not, that's fine. There's another hand one. Oh, in the submissions. Oh, in the submissions. Which one was it? I know, actually, I remember seeing the submission one. The submission one was a better one. Yeah, the submission one was a better one. That's why I'm kind of looking for some more hands. Do's and don'ts. Don't do. Simple shapes. Yeah, because this is a don't. All right. That's cool. Hand art. This is a Hogarth. That's definitely a Hogarth. This is all it is. You can see, look at the palms and then the fingers for cartoons. It's when you try to get real. That it's look at that. It's broken down into the shapes. You want to see this. This is what you want to see. Palm, wrist, thumb. Look at that form. All right, let's get to going. Let's going. Which one are we going to draw? You said, I don't know if it's in the submissions. I can't remember. Was it here? Poses? Is this it? No. Figures. Who submitted it? I'm looking at the submissions here. All right. You're welcome. And Francois. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, somebody's drive. Oh, somebody shared their drive with me. I didn't even look at this and see this one. Oh, these are interesting. somebody's drawings. All right, well, let's, sorry about this. So they talk about proportions, measurements, stuff to look for. Really good book. It's in the chat. Really good book. It's in the chat. Let's draw one of these though. Let's decide. One of the first ones. You'll have to screenshot it because I'm not going to, unless you want to download it on your own. It's not in the chat. Oh, you submitted it? Oh, Meadow, let me see. Meadow, did you submit it? It's not in the chat. Meadow, you said you submitted it in the comments? Or where did you submit it? Because there was another one with hands that I saw. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put this in the chat. Oh, I think I might have. Oh, you know what I did? I sent the to somebody. All right, here we go. There we go. There it is. This is the PDF drive. That's the PDF. That's the PDF for this book. And I like this one, but it's too big. We need to make it smaller. Yeah, make it smaller. Oh yes, there it is. Wow, look at that one. That one's cool. This one, just to draw this, is actually really good. Maybe we should just go with this one. We'll go with this one. There it is. I can screenshot it. And I don't know how I'd get it to everybody, but we'll do this.
What page is that? Because I actually have it on my phone.
Oh, 25. This is page 25.
Thank you.
Although, yeah, 25. Actually, you know what? Sorry. I think we'll do 20. Trying to decide because I want one that's this one's really good if you've never drawn hands. And it's really good because it shows the tendons, the phalanges, and the bones structure underneath. Trying to get one that's kind of maybe a good one for this last drawing we do tonight. Oh, this one's with foreshortening, spiral rhythms. I know, it's interesting. Yeah, these are really good. I'm trying to find one that's, because see how it's really there's a lot going on. I want to try to find one that's simple.
They remind me of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Shooting his webs.
Yeah.
Also, Michelangelo, like Michelangelo has.
Oh yeah, some good hands.
Yeah, it's like the hands are so articulated.
Yes, they are really good hands. This one looks like a spider in itself. Yeah, Michelangelo's, especially the creation where Michelangelo. Hands.
The ET one. Yeah, the ET.
Yeah, that's the creation.
I call it ET.
Yeah. Ouch. Is this phone home? Yeah. It's the dynamic, how close they are, but they're not touching.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, here we go. Look at that. That's a good hand.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nicely broken down. Yeah, no. All right, let's just do this.
So what page are we on?
Good question. I really like this one on page 61, actually. This one right here on 61. We'll just go with that one. All right, let me zoom in on it. So if somebody wants to, 61, yeah. It's really, my dad had, you can see, because he worked hard his life, and he had these muscles in his fingers. I don't know what they were, but you could see them. All right, so we'll do this hand here. All right. So the link is there. Losing people. Oh man, gotta decide. Prep for this class a little more. Okay, so we're gonna do page 61. Screenshot it, do whatever you need to, or draw hands on your own. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this one, and then we'll call it a night. Let's go to stop sharing. So if it's your last chance, if you want to screenshot it, let me get a little closer, zoom in a little more right there. So that hand right there. I'll finish it for homework. All right, good, Ina. Good, good.
Okay, thank you. See you next week.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Welcome, bye-bye. All right, here we go. So here we go. Let me zoom out. Let's draw this hand. So first thing I see, and I didn't break it down, but I see the triangle, this triangle here. Now, before I actually start drawing this hand, let's take a look at hands. So there's two parts that I was mentioning, right? So I'm going to just do a quick little thing here. There's two parts. There's the palm, and then there's the fingers. Now the fingers, if you're looking at it straight, and the hands sometimes open up slightly. Then you have the thumb like this and coming up in here, right? But these fingers, if we get this here and that up there, they're the size of the palm, and that should help. Now, if you have it foreshortening or the fingers are in a different direction, that's when it starts changing, right? And that makes it a little more difficult when the fingers are coming out at you and stuff like that. But you want to do this almost like we're taking it to beginning level again. When you're drawing something beginning and it's looking at it at this view, and then you're looking at it at angles, right? Like this palm coming out at you, like this, say this is the palm, right? That comes afterwards. So you want to draw this first. Now the fingers come out from this point here or down here, right? If you open your hand all the way, then it brings it up here. So if you're opening your hand, these points here go to the palm, the center of your palm. This is my hands opening up all the way. You can see these fingers kind of coming down to a point, like really close to the middle of my palm. If I open it up as much as I can. If I just slightly open that, these angles come down to maybe a point right about here. You can see my hand, these angles, right, coming down. So that's that. That's important to know. And you have your middle finger, and then you have these lines kind of coming down. Usually if it's kind of relaxed down to a point down to here, right? And then I usually just put finger there, the middle finger, and then that other finger there, kind of like that. And then I just draw around it. I just go like this and fill that space and like that. Probably bring this thumb in a little bit. And then parts like that. And that'll get you a pretty realistic hand. You want to practice that and see that. And then as the hand moves around. Now, when your hand is sideways, you get this triangle this way, this triangle here, those triangles. And that's where the angles are really important, where you get that angle there. Here's the palm. And then you have the fingers coming off of that. And this is where angles are important. And these are thirds. So you have your finger here. Let me zoom in. You have this finger, and then the next finger a little bit smaller, and then the next one a little bit, bigger as we go this way, and then bigger this way. And then I can say here's my thumb. And then the other fingers underneath. Yeah, the hand is pretty complex. There's a lot of things going on with drawing hands. And there we go. And seeing these things kind of help. And there's the bone in there. And then when you get to Hogarth's hand drawing, That's where you really get a lot of detail and stuff. So those are some of the things to look for when you're drawing hands. And when you're getting into angles and perspective, that makes it more complex, but you want to keep it simple first and practice drawing these hands. And then when fingers come out at you and, you know, like Uncle Sam, and you're getting, you know, different things, you really want to look at angles. You want to look at things, the way things come out at you. And that would be this hand kind of like coming there and then pointing back. The thumb maybe, yeah, something like that. All right, let's erase. Right, here we go. I'm blocking this in. I'm seeing two things. I'm seeing the shapes and the form. So here's the palm of this hand on page, what page was that? Page 58, it's 61. 61, the numerical page, 61 on the pages, but it's actually page 58 in the PDF. So it's page 58 on the PDF and page 61 on the page. It says page 61. So I've got this triangle shape, I guess.
Can you back it up a little bit?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Right when you started speaking, I looked up and I go, oh, gotta back it up. So I have this angle here, this angle here. This is that palm part, and then I have this angle here. There is a slight angle to it. It's not, the palm is not straight up and straight at us. It's kind of like a tilt. So I'm getting this angle, that angle, and this angle here. Now, what makes it more complex is that it is a form. So I'm going to draw the form like he does. This is that side. Come down here like that. All right, now here we've got the fingers. I'm going to kind of block it in because I know this part of the fingers go here, middle part there, and then the other fingers kind of go there. I'm kind of just blocking it in where they're kind of go, right? And I see this space that it's going to take. I can see that this space is this big, this space is that big, and that space is that big. This is just kind of like the structure of where they're going to go. I'm seeing the big shapes, right? And how all this kind of looks like one piece in here. There's this other pinky, the pinky kind of straightening out and kind of going in there. And then I'm seeing this thumb. This thumb is in here, right about there. I'm not worried about all the little detail. I'm just kind of seeing where it kind of going to fit. And if it's going to fit on my paper, and it does fit on my paper. It does kind of turn up on the wrist here like that. But I'm looking at the big shapes. I'm looking at these big shapes. I'm not worrying about the detail. I see the palm. I see the fingers. I can see that, yeah, more or less that they're it's probably going to be a little bit taller, but I can see the relationship. I can see that that's there. And this is not a big shift. What's happening, it's just tilted. So it's not looking at it straight. It's tilted like this. There's a tilt to it, right? And it's kind of like the fingers are kind of like this, but from a different angle, right? So the opposite angle, it's more like this actually. Yeah. All right. So here we go. All right. You should have something that looks like this cornucopia with this block shape in here. In here is the palm of the palm. I know there's that palm part. And there's that circle part. And then there's this part. As we start breaking it into other parts, there are these two parts. You have this palm part and then this part over here. So that's this right here, this circle right there. And then this part. Now I'm drawing what I'm seeing. I'm drawing from an observation. And this is getting distorted because it's at an angle. Right, and that's why you see this part right here. This palm, it's part of the palm right in here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I have everything there. I'm gonna start with the thumb. There's two parts to the thumb. There's the lower part here, and then you've got the upper part of that thumb right up here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and draw it with the parts. There's a lot of other things going on in here, making it more complex. And I'm seeing how it all fits right in there. It's pretty straight out. There's no angle change, but it's going out at that angle. There's no angle as far as the joints, they're not turning. It's kind of just going straight out. This thumb kind of goes straight out. And this is a little harder to break down. There's so much happening. And I'm just drawing it. Wish I could verbalize this. As easy as the car. I'm just seeing these shapes. Seems like, and it's actually more than shapes, it's form. There's this curve that's right in here, this curve part. Back, this curve, there's this curve and shading. Curve right there. What about there? Another curve right there. There's only 3 fingers. They actually didn't finish drawing that 4th one. There's my thumb. There's the palm of the palm. There's the second half coming down to a point. Notice how it tapers. Actually, this part tapers. Like that. Let me draw that in. Right in there. Clean that up. So if you're having trouble with form, you really want to practice drawing forms like cubes and stuff like that. This is where this is going to help in getting the right angles. And you're practicing. Because if you don't, then you don't get that solid drawing, making it look solid, making it look solid. Because your angles are off, or you're not getting the feel of the form because you haven't really drawn form much, or looked at form, or studied form, observed form. This is where angles are important, because that's what's happening here, here, and even here. This kind of like a brick palm. Then he kind of tilts it, changes the angle there. See this angle this way as it turns. But it's not so solid, it's soft. So this is why he draws this line right in here like that. Because this is that shape there. Then he goes on the outside, the contour on the outside, there's the knuckle. Then it comes in, and then this whole palm right in there is just that curve. I'm simplifying it. Then he goes to this ulna bone. Actually, this is a bone. I don't know if it's called the ulna, but it's one of the bones from your wrist. Ulna and radius. I think it's the ulna. Not sure. That's that bone right there.
The bone that ends up with the pinky, that's the ulna.
All right. Thank you.
Because I work for a company that we evaluate children for developmental delays, and an ulnar grip is when the kid is holding on to an object with its pinky.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I remember it.
Oh, super cool. So I was right. Yeah, ulna, the ulna, and that's that bone. Actually, it's a sole bone that goes down on the your lower arm. All right, so then what Hogarth does, he does these like circles, the form. So this form, there's this pinky's here is 1, this pinky here is 2, and then the pinky, the angle here, these little sausages are the 3. That's 3. That's right about there. Right, this is the pinky. That's going to be there. We're going to go from front to back. So I can see the angles. This angle here, this angle there, and this angle there. If I want me to draw it in, of those shapes, right? And this is kind of the structure. Now I'm going to do these little wrinkles. There's this wrinkle here, and then the that comes out. this way there. This lower part of the pinky. Here's the knuckle. There's that knuckle right there. And then the body of the bottom part of that pinky right there. Yeah. I'm going to bring this out a little bit more bold. It's looking good. Yeah, these little sausages really help capture that form. And I am simplifying it a little bit. But notice these overlapping, notice this overlapping, this crease overlaps and goes underneath and all that. That's just understanding of space and practice and studying, actually. And just practice, because if you just practice the same thing, you're going to get the same thing. You want to study hands and study space. That's where that comes in. I'm going to go ahead and this pinky, simplify the pinky right there, because he's got something else going on over that. There's the pinky, right? The palm, the pinky in 3 directions, 1, 2, 3. And then let's get that ring finger in there. Ring finger, let's do the sausages. The ring finger is going to be here. There's 1, 2, and 3 coming up right in there. The angles, notice my angles. And this is just the structure. This is the structure. I'm putting them in so you can see how what I see, these little sausages, and then we just bring it out like this drawing underneath. This one should be, it looks like it's the same. Let me see, about in there. Let's make it a little bit bigger. A little bigger, a little bit bigger. Yeah, so I'm checking my proportions, how big they are. Made it a little bit bigger. All right. And it's easier to do here instead of when you're doing it with the drawing. I can, now I can go into the drawing and be more confident that my sausages are are good. I know sometimes people draw their fingers and they look like sausages. Well, this is why. But this is good. It's a good step. There's that sausage. And then here, and then this finger. Now I'm going to simplify it. And he's got a lot more bumps, but I'm going to simplify this, the tip of this ring finger into that shape. And then he brings it in, brings it down, and it should be tapering up. It should be getting actually wider as just slightly as the fingers go up, as they get closer to the palm. There's that. And a little bit of just wrinkles and folds that are in there. You do see a little bit of a nail. There it is. And then the other finger's like right against it a little bit. This is the middle finger. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Do my sausages. One's going to be right about here. The other one there. Very parallel to this last finger that we did, the ring finger. And here it opens up even more right in there. But notice these angles, notice the angles, right? These angles are more similar. This pinky is a little more, has more angles to it. And if this finger were in here, I would probably maybe bring it back more. Say this is the pointer finger. We'll put it in there, but it's not in there. So I don't know, should we put it in if you want to? It's coming up behind this finger. All the overlapping, all that stuff. Once you kind of understand the proportions and if it's coming towards you or going away, And sometimes you have to clarify things, make them clear. Like here, this goes up front, and then this is behind this finger. That finger, and that. I'm adding all four fingers. They're not in the drawing. And then the palm, there we go. Yeah, notice what's cool about this is the curvature. He actually has these little arrows that kind of come down. And I don't know, we'd have to read the book to see why these are here, but there's a contour. This contours here, like the center of the middle finger coming down here, the center, then coming up the hand for some reason. And this is in perspective. Things that are closer are bigger. And as it goes back here, this part of the palm is smaller. And this is the middle because it's tilted and it's in perspective. I could put something in like it's holding a pebble or something. Probably do some overlapping. Ta-da, there it is. Those are the parts. Now this does have a little bit of a shift, a tilt, so that's good. That's a nice second step, second level. And then once you get to other levels, that's getting the other fingers into, foreshortening. This is level 1. This would probably be level 2. This is almost like a 3/4 view or a profile. Actually, this is profile. So this is level 1. This is level 2 profile. And this is level 3. Level 3. Yeah, in drawing hands. You want to practice drawing these and looking for these, and then practice drawing these like a profile. And then practice drawing these, the 3/4 views. And then the next level would be foreshortening, really where the fingers are coming at you. And you're losing some of the proportions because of foreshortening. And you get this, my finger, and you can see it just looks like a circle, my pointer finger, right? So that's that's what happens. All right, let's call it a night. It's 9:30, finishing it for homework. We've got how many people here? Unless somebody wants to share something, I'm gonna stop my recording because let's see. I might have stopped on its own. Oh no, it's still